Can you tell us a little bit about this dilemma of overachieving, and what is the misconception when it comes to overachieving?
Yeah. So fundamentally, what happens to all of us overachievers out there is we wake up and we say to ourselves, what do I want? And we think the answer is success, right? I want more success. And it happened to me when I was in third grade. I remember distinctly, oh my gosh, I'm in the advanced algebra group or whatever it was. I can't even remember. And I'm like, I feel successful. I'm being patted on the back. And what we've done is we've trained ourselves to achieve more of the success. And if you ask an overachiever, what does success mean? And they're going to tell you truthfully, they're going to say, I want more recognition. I want more acquisition. And I want to fundamentally make certain that everyone knows exactly how well I'm doing. And I achieve and I achieve and I achieve. And what happens, unfortunately, is because all of that achievement becomes a little bit like an addiction. Right. And the science behind addiction to heroin and the science behind addiction to achievement or overachievement is almost identical, really. What happens is that you get a little bit of it and it feels great. Right. I got the $10,000 bonus. And then the next year I got the $20,000 bonus. And then the next year I'm unhappy because I got only $100,000 bonus. And what happens is it never, ever seems to be enough. But we convince ourselves, if I can just achieve a little bit more, I'll begin to really find what we all want, which is this concept called joy or contentment or satisfaction. I don't say happiness for a variety of reasons, but we want this inner peace that makes us feel like I'm doing something well. And we've convinced ourselves that success and achievement is going to get us there. But what I found over doing this with clients over years and years, it does not deliver what we're really searching for.
Wow. It's the condition of more. You get more, you ask for more, you get it, and then it's continuously more, over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Where do you think this comes from? And kind of a two-part question. Where does this conception of overachieving and wanting more and more come from? Is it a recent societal thing, or is this something that's always been around?
It's a great point. I think it's always been around. Fascinating. The history channels, The Men Who Made America, they talk about Rockefeller and all the guys that built Vanderbilt, all those guys who built America, who were really, really wealthy at the end of the 1800s, early 1900s. And if you learn a lot about those guys, they were never satisfied. And the reason they were never satisfied is because they constantly compared themselves to one another. So I think it's always been around. Overachievers have always been there. What's changed in the past 30 years is our obsession with knowing exactly how everyone else is doing. So in the 1970s, you weren't certain that your cousin his son just got straight A's and was admitted to Harvard. You didn't know. You might have thought maybe he got straight A's and was admitted to Harvard, but you didn't know for sure. Well, today, the instant the Harvard letter comes in the mail, they're posting it on Facebook so that everyone knows. So right now, it's easier than it's ever been to compare ourselves to one another. And I think what that's done for overachievers is it putting us on this heightened state of awareness that people are constantly outdoing us. And so we never feel like it's enough, because 10 minutes on any social media feed is going to show us that it's not enough. It's never enough because someone is always outdoing us. Is it going to get better or worse in the future? Unfortunately, worse. What we see now is what's happening to our children is that adults compare themselves to one another. And now what's happening is kids are beginning to compare themselves to one another. And it fuels this never ending over and over conversation about, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be enough. I had a conversation with a client yesterday whose son got a B in high school, 1 B, all A's, and was distraught for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Distraught for 2 weeks because of 1 B, and it never, ever seems to be enough. And of course, as parents, sometimes we pile all this pressure on them, compare ourselves all the time. It begins a spiral.